to go, and I would have assumed they do because they're getting them now if they're in kindergarten. Do we know that would continue to hold true for take it?
I'm going to guess that it probably would, because I have had, again, a lot of calls and coming from the preschool providers on our sites and the daycare providers on our sites, but also those in the community, because of course they look at this legislation as a potential loss of income and students for them if those parents who have traditionally held their students out put them into a public school setting. So there's been a lot of interest in what's going to happen with this program rollout.
And I would say at the end of the day, it just comes down to capacity of their program, how many children they can legally have. And again, I think when we start with the enrollment process, then these are great questions that we'd actually be able to sit down with the daycare providers and get answers to, could they, on the campuses that we have them on, can they provide those, the long-term care for the remainder of the day for those children?
Two questions. I'm presuming that the answer is no, there won't be a problem, but is there a concern about the playground equipment according to age? But normally our kindergarten playgrounds are designed for 5-year-olds, because I know there's a difference in the requirements for age levels.
Right. I think that with the schools that we're talking about, they're all planning that they would use most likely one of their kindergarten designed rooms with the play yard there. And not anticipating a significant problem with that, because these are the students that are using those playgrounds right now.
Right. And then the other question is, do we anticipate knowing what day or at what time we will be making this decision? Will it be for our June 30th budget adoption, or will it be later, or will it be earlier, or will it be in November?
Hopefully we will have a budget by June, and that means the governor's trailer legislation will have been approved or denied, and we'll have all of the information that we need. The bottom line is we just, we have to go into the current legislation because it has not been overturned, and the governor's budget proposal has not been approved, and so we would move forward under the current budget assumptions, and if for some reason those change, we'll have to look at maybe initially hiring the teachers for this program on a temporary contract, and then if the program gets fully funded, then we would roll them over to something else, to a probationary contract. I don't know. I'd have to work with obviously HR to determine what we can do there. But I think that would be the biggest questions. Is if all of a sudden we hire people, we have everything to go, and then it's not something drastically changes in ed code.
So if the requirement stands and there's no funding, and then we will be conceivably having to reduce our budget for this program.
Yes, but remember, if we don't offer the program, we reduce our budget because we're lowering our ADA.
Right.
We're lowering, instead of next year being a projected 300 student reduction, we now project 485. Which would then, lower our ADA amount. So either way, you're correct. There will be a budget reduction, whether or not we offer the program. We're just trying to minimize that reduction.
I didn't hear this answered, but of the 8 sites that are chosen, do all of them currently have a fee-based daycare provider on campus?
Well, either that or several of them have our program.
So one or the other?
There's one that I'm not sure about. I think most of them do.
Which side is that?
I don't know about Woodside.
Woodside does.
Woodside does.
There you go. Yes.
I'm thinking that part of the way this was put into place was that knowing that if we change the entry age for kindergarten, districts are going to lose ADA, and like you said, over the 3 years, an increasing amount, the funding of the transitional kindergarten would prevent that loss for the districts. Again, like Mr. Eberhardt brought up, that sort of ultimately presents an equity issue. But it would have alleviated any stress on our system in terms of not being able to bring the funding in for the program.
But the governor's budget proposal is trying to save money for the state. So obviously that's why he's trying to remove it, because then he gets to show it as a budget reduction. So it's just like, him eliminating legislation, so.
Anything else? All right, thank you. I will call for the vote.
I move to,
Moved and you seconded. Motion carries 5-0-0.